The Golf Digest, treating them like they're the enemy or whatever,
Yeah,
the scrappy upstarts. It's like no, it's like good, and the influencers are a gateway drug for the sport. I mean,
exactly.
it's
That's
like
a great way to
it's
put it.
it's like why wouldn't you want that?
Thing, right? Where you might want to play golf because you went to a top golf and you liked it and you're like, oh man, I want to like go out on the course. It's similar with viewing, right? Where you start watching on YouTube, you start watching these influencers and you're like, oh, this is really cool. Like, let me watch the top of the top and see kind of the difference. And there's not much discrepancy, but there is levels to this. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of Claws Connect. As you can tell, a little bit of a different scenery today. We are remote. Big week this week for Claw. What's up, Joe? How are you doing?
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, we got
Hello
exciting
to
week this
everyone.
week.
Hello to everyone who came back after that experiment last week. That was
Yeah,
a lot of fun hanging out, man.
we're just gonna keep getting better too. Like we're just gonna. I mean, we're new to this. Joe and I mean, we're good friends. I mean, like I said in the last episode, one of my old kind of students for last 4 or 5 years. So, but this is our first time kind of riffing and doing something like this. So it's just going to keep getting better and
Yeah,
better. But I thought we did
yeah,
good. I mean, we
yeah,
got good feedback. People were like, you guys were
yeah,
vibing. So, yeah,
yeah.
sweet.
Thanks for everyone who gave their 2 cents about stuff. I mean, it actually, for the feedback that we got, it actually spawned an idea for us where we wanted to, because we were really winging it last week,
Yeah, we
and so
were.
of course,
Yeah.
of course, there's going to be some errors and omissions and stuff. So Ethan actually was just like, we should do a segment where we go over that, but let's call it Mulligans, which I
Yeah.
thought was perfect
Right.
for the subject matter here. So I'm just going to jump into that right away.
Jump
We'll get
in.
this out of the way.
The water's warm.
I think that I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we did all right on the golf stuff. We did guess
Yes.
a little bit about like what Rom got paid to move over to live and that, but I have to say we messed up on some Super Bowl stuff. First off, we were talking about how Usher, it was weird to have him on because he doesn't have any new music coming out. That is a falsehood. He has a new
Right.
album that came out this year.
Press the button.
And then I also
False. Dimples
right
comes up with like the
error.
mulligan
Yeah.
sign. Like, yeah, that's
Yes.
funny.
Yeah, we'll get that in there, yeah. And then we also agreed that Rihanna was last year and like she has music coming out, but like hasn't had an album come out since 2016
Mm.
and she had one song on the Black Panther sequel. So like we're off on our pop culture
That was
stuff,
a
but we're
great
doing all right
song
on
too.
golf.
It played in the
Yeah.
credits.
The last thing about the Super Bowl was the Clydesdale. Ethan wasn't sure if there was a Clydesdale commercial. And I was like, I'm pretty sure there was, and there was. I actually watched it yesterday, and it was there was a snowstorm in town, and the guy who delivers the beer couldn't deliver the beer to the bar because of the snow. So they delivered beer on like with Clydesdales in a
I'm
sleigh.
mad
It
at
was like
myself.
it was
I'm mad at myself for
yeah.
not watching the Clydesdale commercial.
You were just in the bath. You must have just been in the bath or whatever.
Yeah.
We can't watch 4 hours of football and commercials straight, so it's not
Yeah. I'm
possible.
not a big commercial guy anyway though. Like I mean if I'm watching sports or something, I just like pull out my
Yeah,
phone and scroll Twitter or Instagram or
yeah,
something like that. But I don't know, I'm not a big
yeah.
commercial guy. But yeah.
Plus,
Um
I feel like I would be more into the commercials in the Super Bowl if like it was the only time you could see it. But it's like I've seen every one of those commercials now
right.
for the past week. Like they replay them, so whatever. I didn't miss out on anything. And YouTube exists too, so if you really want to, you can just be like best commercials on the Super Bowl, whatever. It's not
Dig
it's
them
not a
up.
huge.
Um
Yeah, right,
Yeah, so
right.
so we got some. So welcome back, everybody. Episode 2, Claws Connect. I'm really excited. We got some exciting stuff to talk about. I mean, Genesis, great week with Genesis in terms of kind of star-studded field. Rory, JT. Unfortunately, we had some missed cuts. We had some WDs. So we're going to talk about that. We got some news that kind of came down with the whole Golf Digest thing. I want to talk about that a little bit. I don't know how familiar you are with that, but it was kind of Golf Digest taking shots at the YouTubers. So I'm excited to talk about that. And then,
Yeah,
yeah, Full Swing is coming back in less than a month now. I have a super random fact, but I started watching the NASCAR version of, like, you know how like Drive to Survive kind of started it all, and all the other sports are kind of piling on. I started watching the NASCAR one, and the reason I'm bringing this up is the Daytona was yesterday. And it got delayed a day. I kept seeing a bunch of stuff because Robbie Berger and all the Bob Does Sports guys, they must have had like a sponsorship or something, like a collaboration with NASCAR, because they were pushing it all weekend. So NASCAR is trying to be cool, just like
Yeah,
golf. Yeah, I don't mind
yeah.
NASCAR
Well,
though. I thought it was cool. Full speed was fun to watch. So yeah, we got a lot of
yeah,
exciting stuff to talk
the
about.
production
Yeah,
the production company does a really good job with those. Yeah, the Drive to Survive and Full Swing, and actually I saw that there was a like Paige Sporanic tweeted yesterday something about, hey, so who should I be following in
see,
NASCAR? And
yeah.
the comments were all like, no, that's old news. Like everyone's doing F1, so I guess yeah, NASCAR is making a push to
They're making a
get
push,
relevant
man.
again.
Well, I mean, everybody
Yeah,
saw what happened with F1, right? With Drive to Survive. So now they're like,
yeah,
let's try
yeah,
that. let's
yeah,
let's see if we can get a little bit of that pie. So yeah, Full Swing's coming
yeah. Right.
back March 8th. They released a teaser for that, so we'll talk about kind of what we think about that. A little wish list that we might have for some things in that show. Yeah, Joe might make a celebrity appearance in Netflix, get his royalty checks. But yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk about.
right, right.
So let's talk
Yeah,
about so Genesis, Hideki 62 final round, 140 to 1 odds to win going into the last day. Just, I mean, unbelievable
yeah.
round. He's won on some incredible courses like Memorial. He's won. I think he's won at TPC, Sawgrass, and I mean now Riviera. So he's got some really good courses under his belt. I saw somebody on Twitter was asking like, is this a Hall of Fame career? Because he's also obviously
Hmm.
won at the Masters too. So he's got a major under his belt while also winning on some of these kind of high profile courses. So
Yeah,
yeah,
really quiet. Yeah,
yeah,
like
quiet,
otherwise
exactly.
quiet. You know, like I wouldn't have thought that. And I'm keeping my mouth shut on all that, like what stuff he's won because I don't want to do another mulligan.
Dude,
So
I
yeah,
was
this one's
literally
on
just
you.
thinking, I'm like, oh no, I think he won. I think he won the players, but
Yeah,
that might be an early
yeah,
mulligan. You hate to see it. Um, but no, like I said though, we had a good kind of star-studded field. We always get kind of a good field at Riv. Unfortunately though, JT missed the cut. Rory played pretty good. He had a sloppy first day. He made a couple like back-to-back double bogeys and kind of derailed his round, but he
hmm
would have been right there on the last day if he hadn't had that bad first round. And
yeah,
yeah, and then unfortunately the kind of what happened with Tiger, that was just sad to see. Like I mean, he had such a good kind of start to the week with his launching of his new apparel brand, Sunday Red, which I don't
hmm
know, like take it or leave it, right? I kind of dig the logo.
yeah,
Not a fan of the whole like SDR kind of thing.
yeah,
It's whatever. Like take it or leave it. It got a lot of stuff on Twitter, a lot of guff on Twitter. What'd you think about it?
yeah. Yeah, well, I remember when I first saw the SDR on that, I was like, "What?" And I was in the process. I was in the process of googling it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, okay, Sunday Red. I get it." The logo though, I can see it's either a hate it or love it thing, and
Yeah,
but no, I'm gonna disprove that because I'm lukewarm on it. So I
I'm
kind
pretty
of like
lukewarm
it.
on it
You know,
too. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not crazy about
yeah,
it. On Monday night, I was like, me and Sean were texting back and forth when it first got announced, and we were just really ripping it apart. I might have got caught up in the negativity of Twitter a little bit with people kind of having their opinions, and I have my opinions, but I think I've warmed up to it a little bit more. The big thing was
yeah,
it was cool to see on Friday, unfortunately the day that he had to WD because of illness, which I'm hoping it was illness and not back related because he did have back
yeah,
spasms on Thursday and was the reason that he shanked the ball, he said, which I can't remember last time I've seen Tiger shank the ball. I think it was like
yeah.
2006 or something. It's been
Right.
it's been a while. But it was cool on Friday. He had kind of paying homage to his first tournament ever at Riv in 1992.
Yeah.
It's similar kind of styles. It was cool. I'll throw up a graphic for it, but it was kind of cool to see that. So I mean, it's got cool style. I like the logo. I just don't like the SDR. Like, get rid of that. Just have the logo, just like a Nike symbol, right? Like, you don't have the Nike
Yeah.
symbol and then like just do or just do it, or like it's just the Nike
Mhm.
symbol. Keep it clean. So,
Yeah.
but no,
Yeah.
that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I really did like that. Yeah. The homage to his first round there, which is that was cool. And then yeah, the graphical show, how similar
Isn't
he
it
made
crazy?
it.
He's never
I didn't.
won there.
It is. That is. I mean, for it being his, he gets the sponsor. It's a sponsor exemption thing for him. Is
Well,
that
he
right?
runs the tournament there. Yeah, he
Oh,
runs.
he
Yeah,
runs it.
like
Yeah.
his foundation.
Something
Yeah, his
small.
foundation like
Okay.
sponsors it. Yeah, um, but like just think
They're
about
just
it.
they're
Like
just
that
trying
dude's
to.
won at golf courses like 8 or 9 times, like or 7 or 8
Yeah.
times.
Right.
Like Bay Hill, Firestone, when they used to do the WGC there. But yeah, it's crazy to think like, wow, he's never won here, and he's always putted really bad there. He said, and but
Oh.
hopefully he's back for the Masters. Yeah, that's my only thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't get to watch much of it on Thursday. Outside of seeing his shank, wherever that was, either on Twitter,
Sad.
or yeah, or in some of the highlights or whatever. But yeah, watching on Friday, I was stoked about that because I was like, oh, I get to actually watch him play, and then he withdrew. But really, watching him warm up, on the putting green, and like at the range and stuff beforehand, as they were, getting excited about the ice teeing off again, he
Yeah,
just looked miserable.
that's what you
He just
said.
he did,
Yeah, you said that.
yeah,
You're like
yeah,
he
like
did not, and he looked stiff all week.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if he
Well, do you
did
think
much
do you
prepping. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, do you think even if he wouldn't have with John, like, do you remember what the cut was? Because I mean, he was hovering around it. I
He
don't
was
even know if he would have
hovering.
made
He
it.
was hovering. I don't think he.
Yeah,
I don't think he would have made it. No, I think he
yeah.
was.
So,
But yeah, like I said, hopefully he's back for the Masters. I mean, he's
mhm.
good for the game, but the game is definitely shifting though, and we'll talk about that with kind of the whole Golf Digest thing. But
Yeah,
and kind
yeah.
of the influencers kind of bringing new eyeballs to golf now, and companies like Top Golf bringing a lot of eyeballs to golf. But yeah,
Yeah.
the whole Spieth thing I thought was kind of lame. Like I hate that that's even a thing. I've experienced something like
Well,
that
no, go,
before,
go,
which is
we'll
which
go into
is
that. I don't know if we said that at the top. Tell the people what happened.
okay. Yeah. So if you don't
Oh, that's
know,
it.
Spieth had a WD for signing an incorrect scorecard, which is the end of the round. Everybody's got to kind of add up their scores and make sure all the numbers kind of equal the same and the score equals the same. Sign it. Boom. Done. So Spieth signed for a 5 and he had a 4 or something like that. Signed an incorrect scorecard. Boom. Automatic DQ. And I've had this happen before actually. My junior year, I remember I had a good junior season, won districts, did good regionals, but in between districts and regionals, I had my conference championship. And going into that, I was 2 strokes down to the guy that was number
Hmm.
one in the conference standings. And I beat him by 2 on the final day. We played mano a mano. I shot 74, he shot 76. So we were going to go into a playoff for the conference championship, which would have been really cool and would have been just pretty electric. As electric as like a Big Eight conference title could be. Um,
Right.
and but unfortunately that didn't happen because I had a similar Spieth situation to where I was pretty pumped
Mm.
about kind of the ending of kind of playing as good as I played, getting into a playoff. I was already kind of prepping my mind for a playoff, and then boom, sign the incorrect scorecard. Guy comes up to me that's run the tournament, DQ. So that was a total bummer. I lost out on like my conference standings, which was a definite bummer. I like apologized to my school and my parents kind of helped me through that because I was pretty ticked about it, but they were a little more like kind of this is how you should handle it, and they helped me navigate that well. But no, that
Yeah, it's
sucked.
good.
So I feel Spieth's pain, not obviously for millions of dollars. Mine was for just the
Yeah,
conference
right.
championship, but But no, I had a good after
Well,
that. I did good at regionals, did good at states, so it's got a good like end of the story. But it's just
yeah,
archaic. Like, come on, like we were talking
yeah,
about,
right,
me
right.
and you kind of offline before we started recording. Everything's tracked digitally because of sports betting now. So you have to keep like a ledger basically of all these things that are going on with the scores. So everything's electronic. So why just not use that technology for the players? Like why are we doing different things? And I don't know. I just think it's really archaic. It's going to happen in a major, and then that's when they're really going to have to take action because something stupid like this is going to happen, and it has happened in majors before. Um, like Roberto DiVincenzo back in like the 80s, I think. That's going to probably be a mulligan because that was just a random thought that popped into my head. But because it was
Yeah,
random and off the cuff, we don't do mulligans. Yeah, mulligans are only for things that are like, okay, we should probably know this fact. But the year of
right.
Roberto DiVincenzo, I probably shouldn't know. But
Yeah,
no, what do you think? Like, I think it's just kind of, did you know about that? Like, when you heard about the speed thing, did you know that
yeah.
was a thing?
I've heard that happen before.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I remember a specific one, but yeah, it just seems like such a gotcha rule kind of thing. It's like, yeah, we there's cameras on every hole. It's tracked digitally, like you said. Just I mean, I, I guess that my suggestion would be that, like you have your scorecard and you go and you compare to what the digital system has that they're keeping, like the ledger, like you're talking about. And
Yeah.
if there's a discrepancy, you talk about it. And you could, I mean, every sport has review in it now, so it's just like you can go back, and if Spieth thought he had a four and it was a five, they could just show him play. It's like, oh yeah, it was five. I don't know. It just seems like just a dumb gotcha thing. And like, yeah,
I
and that
agree.
was on Friday, so
Totally
he missed the
agree.
cut. Missed the cut. Doesn't make any money. So I don't know.
Yeah,
He
I
didn't
don't
seem
know.
all that. He didn't seem all that mad about. I mean, I saw his statement on Twitter, and he was just saying, "It's like, I apologize, and I'll do better." I don't know exactly what he said,
Yeah,
but he
it
didn't
was a
he
total
didn't
like PR
he wasn't.
move because I mean obviously like he's got his
Yeah,
sponsors and everything, but he was also
right.
sick though, so it's like I don't know, it's kind of lame. I don't know. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Hey, this is a little off the cuff, but what was going on? Was there something with In-N-Out Burger? Was there
In
like,
and out,
or was
in and
that just a
out.
joke?
It
Was that
like
just a
no, In and
joke?
Out sponsored the pro am,
Oh,
and yeah, they. I mean, they showed like obviously pictures and videos of all the pros like hitting up In and Out and said that In and Out ruined the got because Tiger ate In and Out. They showed actually a video of Tiger, of course, because they show Tiger doing
yeah.
everything. Um, and yeah, everybody obviously probably ate In and Out, but I thought it was kind of funny. They were like calling out In and
I mean,
Out.
like, do
Yeah.
you think there's any validity to that though? Like, where do
I
people
don't
have
know,
food poisoning
man.
or
I
what?
don't know. I don't know. That's an
Yeah,
interesting theory. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. That's yeah.
Hey,
Let's
coming,
do some digging. Let's do
yeah,
some reporting and see.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to.
Coming, yeah. Some investigative
Yeah, we
journalism.
need. To,
I like. I've had food poisoning once, or from a fast food place that I
yeah.
can remember, and it was 25 years ago at Burger King.
Mm,
So I mean, it's like that kind of stuff can happen.
that's
But I mean,
brutal.
if that's really what happened, and a bunch of pro golfers got
Are
knocked
you?
out,
Do
you
you
go,
not? Are you like? Have you written off Burger King because of that, or are you? Are you done?
oh,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I've had plenty of Whoppers since then, and then I'll probably continue. But
Yeah.
dude,
I
I
like a
mean,
good
you've
Whopper,
had in it,
man. I like a good Whopper.
yeah.
Solid.
Have you had In-N-Out before?
I've only
Like
had
when you've
In
been
and
on the
Out
West Coast?
once, only once in my life.
Okay,
Yeah,
good stuff.
when I went
Yeah,
out
really good
to
stuff.
when we went to Mexico, and we went to like we stayed in San Diego with Jonathan and I, and yeah, we went to In and Out, and I thought it was okay. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know, it wasn't anything to like brag about. Like I kind of like Five Guys more, but it's also way it's
oh
kind of in
okay,
a different like tier because Five Guys is way more expensive. So I like
yeah,
Culver's better than In and Out probably. I mean, sorry all of our West
okay,
Coast fans, but
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
not
I
a
was
I'm
I
just
was
not a
gonna
fan. Yeah.
I was I was gonna say, since we were talking about In and Out, I was gonna say, sponsor us, but now that you thoroughly
Yeah, right.
destroyed their,
Well, I mean, we're questioning if they actually like poisoned the or not poison. Yeah, if their players got food poisoning because of them. I think that probably
right?
hurt our chances of
Yeah, we're
getting a
not. Yeah,
sponsorship from them. And then I probably just
yeah,
stuck the knife in it with saying that they weren't as good as Culver's and Five Guys. I like Shake
and
Shack
Burger
better
King's probably
too.
Burger King's probably out too. So
Yeah, I like Shake Shack. Or I like Shake Shack better than all of them. Yeah, Shake Shack's my favorite.
oh,
Yeah,
nice. I don't know that I've ever had that. Gonna
yeah.
have to put that on the list.
Never had Shake Shack.
Nah.
Oh man, I remember I had an awesome Shake Shack burger when I was at LAX when I flew out to San Francisco and pitched the Smart Grip to a bunch of investors. And oh, dude, I was struggling the next day because we went out with the investors the night before, and I went out with the investors the night before, and I had an early flight the next morning, and LAX Shake Shack saved my life because I was struggling. I had a layover from San Jose to LAX before I flew back to Michigan, and oh yeah, it was a struggle. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Nice.
remember I took like it was a completely different terminal that the Shake Shack was at, and I'm like, I'm not missing out on this. Like, I need this. My soul needs this. Like, and I never had Shake Shack prior to this, and it was my first time. But yeah, random facts.
What do you recommend? What do you recommend from there? If I
Oh
ever do it?
man, I mean, I've only had it like 3 times, so I don't even know like what the numbers are or anything like that. But I think I just got like a double cheeseburger with like everything on it, and it was really good. But
Okay.
yeah, the
Are
fries
they-
are good.
Did you get it? Did you get a shake?
No, no shake. No, I heard their
Oh,
shakes are really good. I mean, obviously, Shake Shack.
it's in the name.
It's in
Yeah.
the name. But no, I've
Yeah.
never had the shakes, but I'm sure they're really good. Five Guys has incredible shakes. Have you had a Five Guys shake?
Oh, no, I
Oh,
don't think so.
dude, you gotta have a Five Guys
Next
shake.
time.
It's life changing.
Next time.
Um,
All right.
but
Nice
yeah,
tangent. Nice
next
tangent.
next tangent.
Go
Let's
fast
talk
food.
about let's talk about the whole PGA Tour kind of doing the
Yeah.
influencer thing and how the Golf
Yeah, for
Digest
sure.
traditional media is kind of not happy about it and throwing shots really at the influencers. So for people that don't know, the PGA Tour is doing an event sponsored by like Myrtle Beach, whatever, like tourist company, and they're doing this 1 day kind of sponsors exemption for all these influencers, but they're good golfers. You got like Fat Perez, Grant Horvat, Micah Morris, the Bryan brothers, Busta Jack. You got a good kind of crop of guys, and it's a 1 day thing, 18 holes, and whoever wins it gets a spot into the PGA Tour event. So it's like a Monday qualifier, and it's really cool. And I think it's kind of a sign of the way that the tide is shifting in golf now, to where these influencers really have a lot of pull on kind of these new people coming into golf, and maybe people that have been into golf, but maybe are just, I don't know, maybe a little bored with Patrick Cantlay being like the main guy that you're watching on a weekend or something, right? I mean, if you
Yeah.
got like, so anyway, before I get into kind of my opinions on it, Golf Digest did an article, and they basically like talked about everything that was going on, and at the end they took a shot at the YouTubers and said, I guess and I'll pull up the article to make sure I don't misquote this, and I'll cite it in the show notes. But they basically said that you can get into a PGA Tour event if you're good at using a camera, and you can tell people to smash the like button and subscribe, which is like a really kind of like, it's not fair at all because these guys can
Right.
actually play
Right.
golf. I mean, the Bryan brothers have both played PGA Tour events. Wesley Bryan was on the PGA Tour for many years. I think he might have lost his card or something along that. But he's won on the PGA Tour. Grant played in college. I watched a video last night with Grant and the Bryan brothers and John Rahm. It was so good. Like, I was amazed. I literally sat and watched it for an hour because I was done editing, and I'm like, I got to get away from this edit for a little bit. And it was a blast. And I think that it was just really unfair by Golf Digest. And there's a new wave coming in golf right now to where it's not like the YouTubers are going to try to compete with the PGA Tour players. I mean, John Rahm, it was cool to see though. The video I watched last night, Grant was playing really good, and so was John Rahm. And watching them kind of play mano a mano for 9 holes, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it was wild. But those guys are in obviously a different tier. But you're at the end of the day, you're still battling for attention. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's kind of the whole punchline of it all, right? Is that you've got these viewers, and they're sitting in front of a TV or their phone or whatever on a Sunday, and you got the YouTubers over here on the left TV, and you got PGA over here on the right TV. It's like who's getting more eyeballs, right? And if you take a bunch of
Yeah.
people and put them through that same scenario, these guys over here on the left with YouTube, they're entertaining, they're charismatic. I mean, you got them like mic'd up in the cart, so you can see this cool like interactions. The PGA Tour might need to start maybe implementing some of these kind of techniques that the YouTube is doing to create just a good product and a good viewing experience. I mean, I haven't sat and watched PGA Tour for an hour this year, and I watched that YouTube video last night, which
Right.
is interesting. It was kind of a moment for me where I'm like, oh wow, like I mean, obviously I want to watch John Rahm, but I mean
Yeah.
Grant played really good. I mean George and his brother Wesley, the Bryan brothers, they played good too. But it was just good golf. It was different than like Bob does sports. That's more like entertaining and just watching that like
Right.
with buddies. But this was like,
Yeah.
wow, I want to watch some good golf shots and see some good golf swings. But yeah, things are shifting, and it's interesting to see and seeing the reactions. Did you see anything about this with like on Twitter, this whole Golf Digest thing, or is this all like new to you?
No, no, I mean, just the little bit that you had told me about it. Yeah, I didn't see any of the stuff on Twitter, but I mean, we didn't even talk about the Desert Open that they did, the good
Yeah,
guys.
right.
Um, I mean, I think that was February 7th. They did that, so a couple weeks ago,
Hmm.
and I ended up watching it. Like after the fact, I didn't see it while it was live, but the numbers that they were getting, I mean, like that the video, if you would go to YouTube right now, has over 1 million views on it, and apparently they had at one point 100,000 people watching it while it was live.
Concurrent
And
viewers, unbelievable.
yeah, and we were talking about Live so much last week, and Live is pulling in under 300,000 viewers from the metrics that they had on it. So I mean, obviously there's something there. I mean, like there's a big enough fan base, and I mean, like they have good, like good has almost 1.25 million followers or subscribers to
Yeah.
it. So and I ended up watching. Yeah, I ended up watching. I mean, it was two. They broke it into 2 2-hour videos, and I watched about an hour of it, and it was just good. I mean, it's just buddies out there playing golf, having a good time. I mean, I mentioned Paige Spranik earlier. She was there with
Yep.
a partner. I mean,
She
like,
was
and
with Kalen
just like
or
everybody.
Kalen Henderson, right?
Oh, okay,
Yep, they were
okay,
partners. I think it's
yeah,
Kalen or
yeah.
Caitlin. Might be
Yeah,
Caitlin.
we'll have to look that up.
Yeah, but
But I mean, just a bunch of people having fun. It was at nighttime. It was a like lit up course, and they were in Tempe, Arizona.
hmm
But just really entertaining. And I don't think, I mean, the way that you're describing it with what Golf Digest was saying, it's like they're treating it like a zero sum game where it's like these two things can't coexist, and it's like they're like they can perfectly coexist. I mean, it's like it's not like good was trying to, like they had their tournament on the
yeah,
weekend and were trying to
right, right.
compete with whatever tournament was going on that week. And like you mentioned too, it's like these golfers are in the videos with them. It's just like it's fine. Like two things can exist at the same time. And I just don't like that. What like Golf Digest throwing shade at the whole situation, like, oh, you just need a camera and to stay smashed. It's just not that at all.
It's
And
not
it's way out
fair.
of touch, I
It's
think.
way out of touch, and it's. I mean, hey, Golf Digest, your traditional media, you better be careful because you saw what just happened to Sports Illustrated, which was once at the top. I mean, huge kind of media conglomerate, no longer fired ever. Like
Yeah.
it's gone. Golf Digest better be careful. If they don't embrace this new wave, they're going to follow that same peril. But no, it's just good for the game, man. Like, we're growing the game. You got Melbourne coming in, sponsoring Tour Pros. Will I wear Melbourne? Probably not. I'm a little more kind of traditional in the sense. I don't really like pants that are too baggy, but whatever. Like, I'm also like, I'm wearing Random Golf Club right now. So, I mean, they're kind of similar in terms of trying to bring more people into golf, and I like it a lot. But no, it's good for the game. And say like these guys that are watching Good, they watch their favorite golfers, and then they become fans of the PGA Tour because they're like, oh, okay, these guys are really good. I'm watching John Rahm play. Okay, I'm going to watch John Rahm over on Live. So now I'm going to go watch Live. And you know what I mean? Like, this whole intersection with YouTubers and PGA Tour or Live is just bringing more eyeballs and attention to everybody. Like, everybody gets to share in the spoils.
Right. And the Golf Digest, treating them like they're the enemy or whatever, the scrappy upstarts. It's like, no, it's like good, and the influencers are a gateway drug for the sport.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like,
it's a great way to put it.
It's like, why wouldn't you want that?
I mean, with it being a gateway drug, I mean, it's just like you get exposed to it. It's kind of low friction. You watch it on YouTube. Top Golf's kind of the same thing, right? Where you might want to play golf because you went to a Top Golf and you liked it, and you're like, oh man, I want to like go out on the course. It's similar with viewing, right? Where you start watching on YouTube, you start watching these influencers, and you're like, oh, this is really cool. Like, let me watch the top of the top and see kind of the difference. And there's not much discrepancy, but there is levels to this. And you obviously can't say that Grant Horvat is at the same level as up here with the top PGA Tour player or Live guy. But there's not much discrepancy. So it's not that much drop off. They're all hitting good shots. It's entertaining. Everybody likes seeing good golf shots because they know how hard golf is. But no, it's just really, I don't know, man. Like, there's just so much good stuff going on in golf right now. Golf is trying to be cool, and it's doing a good job with it. Like, it's becoming kind of part of the cultural zeitgeist, right? Like with the Malbon thing and all these kind of collaborations that are going on with just culture. And I'm a huge fan of it. And hey, we're going to be full steam ahead on this YouTube journey. Like, we have all of our instructional stuff with Clause and Effect. And there's video launching this week. Don't make sure you don't miss that. But we have this, which is more laid back. We're going to start playing golf at X Golf, filming that, and then that'll feed right into our spring and summer of us playing golf together. So we're going to be part of the YouTubers saying like and smash the subscribe button. So, but it's just really unfair.
Right.
It's really unfair, and it's really out of touch, like you said.
Well, sorry. The train is back in the station now. Like, my thought has come back to me. What I was going to say was that, like, it's almost like one of the most predictable things ever that there are golf influencers on YouTube. When you're talking about this being the next generation of golfers, watching some of the Desert Open on YouTube or the replay of it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel a little bit too old. Like, I'm like on like the outer edge of like that like safe range. Like, it's very like Gen Z to me.
Yeah.
Like the whole like good and like golf influencer stuff. And I don't know exactly where the cutoff is between millennial and Gen Z or whatever. But it's like definitely
I feel like I'm on
thing.
the edge too. I feel like I'm kind of like on the edge where I'm like kind of cringy with the whole. But sorry, keep going.
Yeah, but of course, like, this was going to happen, and good and their ilk, like, they crushed it. I mean, like, they're doing a great job. They have talented golfers. They're entertaining, and it's just like it's again, like, why you wouldn't want that for the sport to have, if kids aren't playing golf, like, the sport dies. Like, it's like, why would you belittle what they're doing? I just don't get it.
Like, say, okay,
thumbs down.
Thumbs down. I wish, like, Discord could actually do like a thumbs down. Remember yesterday you did it where, when we were talking for business, you were like, did a thumbs up, and it like pulled up the emoji. But I don't know. I think, it's way out of touch.
I'm gonna try it while you're talking.
Right. It's way out of touch, and
there we go.
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking? The YouTube could have its own like golf tour. right? Like, say the guys are trying to do this whole like jump where they're trying to get these sponsors exemptions into the PGA Tour events. And that happens, but maybe it's only like once a year with the whole Myrtle Beach thing. Okay, but then
Yeah.
now the YouTubers, they want to compete. I mean, Good did this with the whole Good Championship last year, but they need to. I
Mhm.
feel like just make your own tour. Make your own tour. You got
Yeah.
all these great golfers that are kind of coming in. I mean, I think that's kind of what the Good Championship is that is their kind of own tour. But get all these good golfers that it's got. I mean, you got basically like these tiers, right? You got Corn Ferry Tour, which is the developmental tour before
Yeah.
the PGA Tour. Then you got PGA Tour, and then Live. I mean, their PGA Tour and Live. I mean, the talent's pretty similar. I mean, you whatever we can get
Right. Right.
controversial with that, but it's pretty neck and neck with talent. But the Corn Ferry and maybe this YouTube tour could be similar in terms of like you got the PGA Tour and Live. It's like Corn Ferry
Mhm.
in YouTube. You know, it's like kind of a similar thing. But I don't know. Just kind of thinking out loud with that. But
Yeah. Did
it,
Did you know, like while I was watching the Desert Open replay, the like they're doing one in Indiana in
yeah,
June.
I saw that. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah. So like
Hey,
I'll definitely be paying attention to that.
yeah.
So
But yeah, like you said, I feel like I'm kind of right on the fringe to where, um, I mean, I like the guys; they're all really entertaining. But we're in our 30s, and it's just. But I mean, still, like I think it's entertaining stuff. And I watched it last night. I didn't watch Good. I watched the Bryan brothers with John Rahm and Grant. But I don't know. Like I think it's the fact that I didn't think I would ever watch something like that, like I did last night. And I sat there and watched it for an hour. It's not like I just watched it for 20 minutes,
yeah.
which is
Right.
saying
Right.
something. And granted, John Rahm was in it too, so I wanted to watch that. It was at
Right.
his home club, but yeah, like we said, golf's trying to get cool. It's trying to be in the cultural zeitgeist. Full swing. We talked about this kind of beginning of the show. Full swing's coming back March 8th. You got any thoughts on that? You liked season one. I mean, you watched it as kind of somebody being new to the whole golfing world, so you have kind of a different
Yeah.
perspective on it than me. I was kind of more like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
You were getting frustrated them describing what a par was and
yeah,
what a
or
birdie
like
was.
what a miscut or like when the cut
Right.
happens. But
Right.
whatever. I mean, they're trying to bring new
Yeah.
people into
Yeah,
golf.
we talked about that before. Like I give them a pass on that. Again, they're
Yeah,
trying to bring people in. Like I'm not going to gatekeep. Like, yeah, it's like explain it but maybe don't do it in the second season
yeah,
because like
correct.
you've
Yeah,
already
you've already become a
yeah.
meme.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
right.
Yeah, they made a lot about that.
Yes.
So yeah, my thoughts about it. I watched I think they just had one. There was one YouTube short and one like minute long teaser
Uh huh.
thing with Joel Damon. Um, the short had like Rory was in it and everything. So it's like they're not like tipping their hand much at all in this, and it's just a couple weeks away, right? A
Yeah,
couple few
yeah.
weeks
It's
from.
less than a
So
month
it's like they're
away, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, yeah, Damon was mine and probably everybody else's favorite episode from the first
right.
season. So it's good that they got him back. You were kind of teasing it at the beginning about me like wanting to like potentially being famous. I my like the only thing on my wish list is that they spend a lot of time talking about Ricky Fowler and him winning the Rocket Mortgage
Yeah,
Classic in
right.
Detroit because I was there. I was there. I was standing over his ball that he hit into the rough on the right during the playoff,
Unreal.
and so like I have and like
I'll pull it
now
up.
would be a
I'll
good time
pull
to
it up.
show.
Yes.
Yeah, like I was there, and like and I know when I watched the replay of it later, I could see myself on CBS's coverage. So I'm hoping like one of those like million cameras that was around was a Netflix one, and I'll be there
You'll
just
be calling
with
for your
my camera,
royalties.
like with my phone up in like portrait mode, like an idiot instead of landscape mode. Like
Oh no.
that's what I'll be embarrassed about. Anyway,
That's okay. It's
so
all for the gram. All for the gram. Everybody's
that's right.
got to get
Yeah,
the
that's right.
portrait. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That I'm interested to see. That would be really cool. I mean, if we see you, I mean, Ricky's definitely going to be a big part of it. And I mean, his win was the first win he's had in a while. So I'd be shocked if the
Yeah.
Rocket
Yeah.
wasn't involved with that. So I'm excited to see that. Any like other things that you're kind of like hoping are in it? I got a couple for me.
Um, No, I mean, really, just in general, what I enjoyed about it was just like what I enjoy about like the show Hard Knocks
Yeah,
on HBO about the NFL. Just the real, just the raw, like what these people actually like, not the what the image they want to be seen
correct.
portrayed
Yeah,
on
yeah,
TV or whatever. I guess
right.
here's some cussing and
Yeah,
some people being real. Yeah.
real, exactly. And I feel like
Hmm.
a little side tangent, and I'll kind of get to like what I'm kind of looking forward to. But when you look at like DeChambeau, he had this kind of image of how everybody portrayed him, and then now you look at all the stuff he's doing with like his YouTube content. He's collabing with all these kind of people, all these influencers, and now he's kind of took the narrative and been like, hey, like this is who I am, and it's kind of goes back to where he's really not like that weird, and he's kind of a cool dude. He just did a collaboration with Paige Sporanic, but it's the same kind of thing, like
Hmm.
you were saying, right? Where you have kind of the way that people paint these people, and then now we get to see the raw version of them, and we're either A, going to get what the media was saying about them, or B, completely different version. And it's like, oh, this is who this person actually is. So I agree. I definitely want to see some rawness. The Ryder Cup thing, I'm excited for because there was some
Yeah,
drama
for
that went
sure.
down with the Ryder Cup. I would love to see the swing coach in me. I would love to see more just like them working on their swings and stuff. I know that's probably not what most people want to see, but that's my wish list. Like I'd love to see them working on the range and yeah, watching clause and effect and working on their. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But no, I would like to see more stuff like that. Them just kind of grinding, like the actual grind that goes into them trying to improve. I mean, we saw it last season with like JT working on his game a lot, but just like the frustrations. I just want to see like the golf is hard. I want people to know like
Hmm.
this is how hard golf is. Like these guys are the best players in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a good job with that last year. I think with showing Brooks going from the top of the mountain to being like because of the injuries
Yeah.
and his game kind of going to nothing, and then kind of influencing his decision to go to live. JT was struggling too on the range. I remember he's working with his dad, frustrated, kind of swearing, just like yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I just like to see the rawness. I'm in the same boat as you, but I'll be watching. I'll be
Yeah.
watching along with everybody else. We'll have it. We'll have discussions of it on our Discord for sure. So if you haven't joined our Discord, go join that. I'll have it linked in the bottom in the show notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, golf's trying to be cool. It's doing a good job. I mean, it's got 100,000 viewers on the Good thing, which was wild. Yeah, there's a new wave. Golf is becoming just cool and more fun and more inclusive and just bringing all this kind of new momentum and new energy to golf because it can't just rely on Tiger. It can't just be like
Right.
we can't put all that pressure on just relying on Tiger being healthy, and that ship has sailed. Like this week with the whole Riv thing with his WD, it was just like it just felt like a weird moment in time where it's like okay, this is kind of. I mean, yeah, I know it was for sickness, but he also looked really bad and his body was not in shape, and he talked about the back spasms, but. It's just like, hey, we got the influencer stuff, we got all the stuff going on with all that, and then Tiger's not moving the needle as much as some of these influencers with the new generation. And like you said, John Rahm is kind of your guy that is moving the needle for you in terms of wanting to watch. And I don't know, I'm just excited. Golf's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
yeah, and heading into the Masters here in April too. And I mean, it's going to be some good stuff.
I'm excited. Yeah, golf's
Going to
in
be
a
some
good
real
spot
good
right
stuff.
now. I'm
Yeah.
excited. We'll be playing golf outside very soon. We're going to be playing golf at X Golf next week. Still trying to figure out if we're going to go live on YouTube with that or if we're just going to record it and then maybe like voice over it. That's just like hanging out and just like talking about our rounds or something in the lounge or something. We'll figure that out. But no,
Yeah.
we're trying to expand the content here at Claw. But yeah, instruction is obviously always kind of one of the main focuses. Big video coming out this week. Really excited for that. Just wrapping up that edit. And yeah, Clawball's relaunching. New sites launching this week. Big week. I got to go get to work on that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll
And
talk to
yeah,
you later,
heads up
Joe.
for the Heads up for the Claus Connect newsletter too.
Yes.
If you didn't
Yeah.
mention that already, yeah. I'll be sending that out in the next day, whatever,
Yeah.
sometime soon.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna go edit
All
the
right.
rest of this podcast. Thanks for everybody for listening. If you're new here, yeah. Oh,
Bam.
nice. Let's go.
Got it.
Perfect. Yeah. We
Good
appreciate
talking with
you.
you, man.
It's really fun connecting with you guys. Joe, as always a blast.
Yep.
And let's keep it rolling. This was fun. I mean, we'll be at X Golf next week. So again, we're just keeping you guys on your toes. You don't know if we're gonna be at X Golf. You don't know if we're gonna be doing a remote, but we're always gonna be connecting with you, and that's what we do here at Claus Connect. So,
Yep.
cool, man.
See you guys.
Peace.
Take care. Oh, all right. Let's do that too.